Whoa, now, y'all, what's happening with the world? Shamans and them Foul Sharp reporting on the Bamboozled Again News Network. Uh, this video by request, and I really didn't have nothing to talk about, so I'm gonna just see how I flow Joe with it. Um, Let me start off like this. It's definitely a different energy, a different spiritual environment. I'm really perceiving this. Hence the reason why I travel to the DMV area, as y'all would know it. Dropping off my rental car as I got the message from Brother Emery. Says 12:30. Can you drop a video? And this, as of let's say the last month, things have become I've become very apathetic, right? Just going through the motions. I don't like being like that. So I decided to switch it up, you know what I mean? Travel a little bit. I end up seeing some friends I haven't seen in a while. Of course, I've exited stage left of certain behaviors and proclivities. And when I got with said individuals, it was good seeing them, and I was well received and whatnot. But what fell upon me in the real time of interacting with the homie Lokes was just with time and everything, just the spirit of forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Grudge holding. You know what I mean? Things have transpired, and it wasn't really on my spirit like to bring those things back up. It was just good seeing people. You know what I mean? Now, granted, everybody's being pressed out by Babylon, so individuals going through their various life situations, so on and so forth. And it was cool, fine, and dandy. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm headed. You know what I mean? But I've really been in this space of going through, the purging of the flesh and, just trying to get my spirit right in alignment. And I really don't feel like pursuing certain financial goals with this digital, whatever they, AI, and I've know a bunch of people who have banking issues and so on and so forth. I may, pursue other, endeavors. I'll find out Monday. That ought to be interesting. I talk about my job issues and whatnot. But I did break a record. I decided to go on a fast. So I think my previous record was like 27 hours. And I actually went, I think, 31. And I could have went further. You know what I mean? And after a certain point, I could have ate, but I wasn't really hungry. You know what I'm saying? I was just in the spirit of just being grateful in the moment. You know what I mean? I don't know if this video really doing any justice. I think we all, if you watch my content, we all feel something. You know what I mean? A desire to, let's say, go into nature or to kind of unplug, being not concerned with the affairs of this life and the pride of life and the lust of the flesh, and you know what I mean. I actually had the company of a young lady, and I just enjoyed her company. I ain't splack, could have. It was more of the connection thing, you know what I mean? The energetic charge of connecting with another human being, which in my personal life I'm well deprived of by choice. I don't even know what to call this. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just a different space, you know what I'm saying? So I feel the need to. I've already isolated to some degree, but more isolation for a greater connection, relationship with the Most High, so that we can be led in an appropriate way, manner, time period, so on and so forth. I think now is the time where your spiritual instincts need to be fine-tuned. And that was the purpose of me, going through that 31-hour fast. And I'll probably do that this week. I've gotten into, segue me please. I got some more, got my whole clothes as a binding with the wormwood and the black walnut hull. Because when I took it, I didn't have the clothes to bind it. So I know, like when I take it, like it was giving me pimples on my leg. But from what I understand, I guess the parasites are dying. So like the toxins are just going through my skin. They're not being bound by the clothes and then processed up my body like that. So that's a little something if y'all, want to go through a cleansing, you know what I mean, a detox. What else? I got some chlorophyll on the way. I forgot the rest of the stuff. Some St. John's wort. It was something else. Just to put my temple in the best shape position possible to receive these downloads, as we like to call it, from the Most High. Because, like I said, you can't intellectualize this. I've kind of gotten away from, let's say, conspiracy level, or even like I know Trump is, They might sign something and then it takes a period to get rolled out, but then when it's up on you, you're like, oh wow, labeling homelessness as a crime, and got some. I ain't gonna talk about it on this video. It feels like, and now of course I wasn't there. It feels like the birth pains of like a Gestapo kind of environment. You know what I mean? Totalitarianism, fake fiat currency, and the extracting of that. You know what I mean? By no means am I afraid or whatever the case may be, but I just feel like going into my secret chambers and just being and praying. That's why I've been doing a lot of just, existing and praying and, confessing my sins and reflecting on the past and the things I've been blessed to be able to endure. It's almost like a samurai's gratitude. You know what I mean? Like I have no allegiance to no one or no kingdom, but I just honor or I just make war with, my own principles and morals, you know what I'm saying? And the things I've learned along the journey, the individual I became and who I'm becoming, you know what I mean? Even during the active fall of an empire, you know what I mean? Praying for the Cheerings, here's another, praying for my enemies. I don't want to, but I'm down by law, you know what I'm saying? Forgive them for they know not what they do, you know what I mean? Rejoicing when people spitefully use you. It's not that I can't handle, I don't want to handle it. And then in my intellectualism, I thought I would pass that. When I have no say on what I think I'm past, because it's not like I have any control over life other than how I perceive it and how I respond to it. You know what I mean? So I've been getting out of my will to a greater degree. You know what I mean? Because I want to like leave out, I want to do this, I want to do that. You know what I mean? And if it's the Most High will, it'll happen. But now I'm just being still and positioning myself for however he lead me. You know what I'm saying? And then from my belief of life experience to this point, whatever I step into next, whatever I've gone through is just training to step into something that I've never been in. You know what I'm saying? So I would just implore everybody, just a little quick video. I would just implore everybody to do whatever you need to do to keep you together. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to make some hard calls. If it's cutting people off, if it's leaving the job, of course, petition the Most High first. If it's taking a leap of faith, it's all individual, based on the individual, you know what I'm saying, that I'm speaking to. Do a lot of reflecting, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, it's so crazy because I really have nothing to say, but there's so much that I'm attempting to quantify, and it's hard to put it into words in a linear flow, you know what I'm saying? Taking this world as it is, not as I would have it. Wishing and seeing how things could be different, but it's not supposed to be different. It's supposed to be exactly the way it is. Like we'll make these articulations about Babylon and, let's say the government or socially or whatever the case may be. It wouldn't be Babylon if it wasn't doing Babylon stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel almost like, I don't know, like, how did the prophets feel? Like, how did Jeremiah feel during his time period? Or Ezekiel, you know what I mean? I don't know. That might be the title of it. I don't know. But we'll find out when the time comes. On that note, I'm going to holler at y'all. Stay up out here.